Greetings, everybody. Keith here. Hoping everybody's having a good day, enjoying life, living life, loving life. Wanted to get on and talk about HUD for a minute. In light of various different information through research and obviously public record and whatever. We have some issues coming to hand with a lot of these officials that are blatant and outright causing sedition. They're not playing. Don't take my words lightly. I said sedition for a reason. Pay attention. I want to talk about integrity. And this is right from HUD.gov sites documents sovereign citizen scam. Attention, HUD REO, real estate owned. Contractors, property inspectors, Section 8 administrators, and realtors. Watch out, sovereign citizen scam. The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development's Office of Inspector General. So, I am addressing directly you, Inspector General, you incompetent and insolent being with no excuse for putting this on the internet. None. I will prove your idiocy. Advises, do you have such a license to give a legal advice? Are you Inspector General and are supposed to inspect the record and make sure it reflects accurately? Or do you have a license to practice law? Let's not be ambiguous here. Advises the public on how to recognize sovereign citizen occupation of a vacant property and the use of false deeds to support Section 8 leasing. Avoid putting yourself in danger or accepting fraudulent documents. Avoid putting yourself in danger or accepting fraudulent documents. This bulletin explains how to protect yourself as well as HUD's interests. Mr. Inspector General, I'd like to see every document in the possession of HUD that has a proper and appropriate tax transfer stamp proving the transfer was made appropriately. Other than that, you babble and you speak bullshit. Again, I will prove this. All of you Christians out there, pay attention. Sovereign citizens groups are loose associations of anti-government extremists who do not recognize the federal government. HUD, Inspector General, I have recognized you. I am naming you specifically, Mr. Inspector General, by title. Your name is on the internet under that title. So I do recognize you. I recognize you by title. They believe they are separate or sovereign from the United States. Now, the people are most certainly separate from the United States by every definition of the United States. I am separate from the United States. Every living soul is separate from the United States. that rabbit out in your yard that they pose that they have hunting laws for to regulate them and you. Blasphemy. You have no power of such sort. None. United States are exempt from federal, state, and local laws and tax systems. They believe the county sheriff is the supreme law enforcement officer in the land, and county clerks or registrars are the only legitimate elected officials. I don't believe any of that. I don't believe any of it. They subscribe to belief in common law. The fuck I do. If you're going to call me a sovereign citizen, the fuck I do. And the right to arrest or sue employees. I've been telling people for quite a while now, I'm not liable, I'm not responsible, and I cannot be sued, nor can I sue in your courts for your commercial illegitimate practices. And I did not say illegitimate government. I say illegitimate practices, because a practice can be done by a medical person. A practice can be done by a cashier. I am saying illegitimate practices. If you don't know what you're doing, you shouldn't get paid for practicing. You should be well worth it so you can put on a good fucking show for your 15 minutes of fame. They are known for filing nuisance lawsuits or liens against individuals. I've never filed one. Who try to stop their schemes. They are sovereign citizens who try to use things to stop their schemes. It is a banking scheme. It is a recording scheme. Recording. It's their scheme. To the victor goes the victory over his victims. They are known for filing lawsuits schemes which have involved in lender, credit card, tax, and loan frauds. So again, I repeat my request. I want HUD to bring forth every document they have with the proper and appropriate tax transfer stamp on it. Every last one. It's a matter of public record. And I want to know every last one. See, people would think that that record would be innumerable. Nope. Did you know they only own, maybe supposedly own, profess to own, approximately 2% of the land? Now remember, folks, 98% of people pay taxes voluntarily. That means 98% of them are indoctrinated by the 2%. They make their own driver's license and license plates, and sometimes attempt to form their own parallel institutions of government. Sovereign citizens' encounters with law enforcement and government personnel frequently become confrontational and sometimes turn violent. The most extreme example of sovereign citizen violence was 1990, exhibited by Terry Nichols, co-conspirator of the Alfred P. Murrah federal office building bombing. Terry Nichols. 1995, 2014 standoff between the federal government and a cattle rancher in Nevada, also sovereign citizens and even more radical militia groups. That's the Bundy group, folks. The cattle ranchers in Nevada, that's the Bundy group they're talking about. They're calling people like that are asserting that the government don't have HUD. You work with BLM. And like I said, I want every document with a proper tax transfer stamp on it saying that you own that 2% of property. I want to know everything. Every last bit of it. Because every other one on that record is false. If there is no tax transfer stamp, then the record is false. So your state certifications of compliance is false. Your landlord-tenant certifications of compliance is false. Period. And you sit here and call us sovereign citizens for pointing it out. And you're the one that puts it on your own damn record. You fucking morons. Because like I said, what are scams? Sovereign citizens have been investigated by HUD OIG. Oh, imagine that. So this is coming from your own fucking opinion. You fucking moron. For not only illegally occupying HUD properties, again, that's why I want to say, I want them tax transfer stamps, buddy. I want every fucking last one of them for you to be able to make the appropriate illegally occupying HUD properties. You fucking morons. Leviticus 25 verses 23 and 24. The land shall not be sold forever, for it is mine, and ye are strangers and sojourners with me. In all of the lands of your possession, ye shall grant a redemption. So remember, while I might sound like I'm being a bastard, buddy, I'm not out for you. I'm out to redeem the land. I don't give a fuck what your employees wish to do to you as far as disciplinary actions. But you will stop doing this to the people. Improperly deeding HUD-owned properties to themselves. So, if they are improperly deeded to themselves, then where is the proper deed? You ignorant public servant. These groups take advantage of state laws in most states that require county clerks to accept and file any quitclaim deed presented to them. Why do you suppose that is? Because that's a law and we are allowed to take advantage? Is that not access to the courts? You fucking moron. Presented to them as long as the forms are properly signed and fees are paid. My apologies there, folks. And this is the whole issue I've been talking about all along, folks. See, the taxes are properly duly paid by stamp. And nobody ever wants to talk about paying the taxes. They want to make sure the fees are paid. And they never mention paying the taxes. Why is that? Why is that? Hold on just a second. All right, I guess he finally left. Got the idea. Okay, so let's get back to it. Because like I said, I'm going to show you their idiocy here, people. All you Christians, they're calling you sovereign citizens. Watch. I'm going to drop this link so everybody else can finish reading this to see how property is being used by sovereign citizens. How am I affected? Your duties may bring you in contact with sovereign citizens who may unlawfully occupy houses you inspect or may fraudulently represent themselves as potential landlords for the Section 8 program. Unlike other squatters. So now they're classifying sovereign citizens as squatters. Okay? How do I recognize sovereign citizens? Names spelled in all capital letters. Every court document that they present is presenting a sovereign citizen. Or interspersed with colons, hyphens, or other punctuation. Huh. interspersed with colons, hyphens, or other odd punctuation. Odd punctuation. Did these guys not take English as a matter of school? I mean, weren't these people students in their own public education system that taught them English, that used colons, hyphen, and other punctuation, and now they want to call it odd? Weren't you taught your entire life that you're supposed to use that? How does it all of a sudden become odd? Don't you even use it in your own? Don't you use hyphens, colons, and I see it in court documents and case law all the time. You fucking moron. This guy is incompetent. He shouldn't even been past third grade. For crying out fucking loud. Signatures followed by under duress, sovereign living soul, or a copyright. Every book that has a copyright must be a sovereign citizen. You fucking morons. You see how they displace the reality of what things are? Personal seals, stamps, or thumbprints in red ink. My God, they have laws that tell us we are allowed to do so. You see that next one? References to the Bible. That's before it gets on with the Constitution of the United States, U.S. Supreme Court decisions, treaties with foreign governments, or a uniform commercial code. They're saying that if we use the concept of their laws against them, we're sovereign citizens. Every last one of their laws comes from the biblical scriptures. And they say if we reference the scriptures, then we're the sovereign. We're the sovereign citizen. We're the sovereign citizen if we mention the Constitution. Well, how come the U.S. Supreme Court decisions generally use a lot of their constitutional laws as the basis of their fucking decisions, you fucking moron? The Inspector General of HUD should not have passed third grade. They go on to talk about prefix noble or suffix bay or el bay with their name, brackets around zip codes or other written oddities that can be found in the two reports referenced in this bulletin. What about referencing, perhaps that Constitution that we reference? Everybody's thinking about the U.S. How about we mention the Constitution of the Universal Postal Union, where they're the ones that define your fucking zip code, bitch. Excuse my language today, folks. I just find this fucking impudent bastard shouldn't have passed third grade. And this is why we are in the place we're in. We have people in these positions that should have never passed third grade, putting this kind of bullshit out. And every Christian should be fucking deeply offended. They go on to explain. Now, when you see their deeds, you see it's in all caps names. But if you enter a quitclaim deed with an all caps name, all of a sudden, holy fuck, we can't have him doing that. Somebody knows something. He can't do that. That's a sovereign citizen. And again, perfect point here before we get down to the next section. This is why I keep telling people you have no need to be filing these documents. Again, HUD, I want to see every fucking document you have a valid and proper tax transfer stamp on to prove that property belongs to you. Otherwise, you back the fuck off and you ain't got a fucking word in this. This is between us, the people, and our sovereign power. Like I said, Leviticus 25 verses 23 and 24. We're the ones that grant the redemption, and you ain't got no fucking say in it. You're supposed to be peaceful about it. That's why we're getting riled up. Because you're fucking kidnapping everybody. tearing their families apart when you're supposed to be help housing them. You ignorant, insolent bastards. Goes on and says, talks about the notices that we try to give them about no trespassing and stuff, and that's why they ignore them. HUD is telling them to ignore these signs. This is law, people, and HUD is telling them, the insolent bastard at HUD is telling them to ignore the law. Avoid giving or showing identification. Do not attempt to debate the sovereign citizen about ownership of your right to inspect. Your right to inspect is not valid unless it's yours, you ignorant, insolent bastard, as it would serve no purpose. Do not take an assertive, aggressive, or threatening posture. Do not touch the person, as he or she may file assault charges. Do not sign anything. Leave and report the incident to the supervisors and HUD. Then why the fuck are everybody on these local levels taking it into their own fucking hands? You fucking morons. Yeah, the people are getting pissed. If a sovereign citizen comes to your offices, follow the advice above. This man, without a license to practice law, is giving people advice to break the law. He is giving people advice to defame their neighbors by their actions as he defines them, which is following the law. Oh, it's supposed to be in the all caps name for commercial purposes? Okay. Let's not be confused about that. Oh, it's supposed to have a tax transfer stamp on that? Okay. Yeah. Notice that's one of the problems. Use of postage in unneeded places. You do not put it on the bottom right-hand corner on the front of the document. Okay? This is someone that's trying to follow the law and doesn't quite understand it yet and made a mistake. He made an error. He didn't put it in the right place, and he didn't use the right amount. It should be a $10 stamp, and it should be up in the top right-hand corner. Have a staff member notify law enforcement. Uh-oh, we got somebody that wants to use the law. He won't let us abuse him. Call the police, they're better at it. And report that you have a sovereign citizen is present. So all of a sudden you get to determine that somebody is a sovereign citizen by your own opinion. Because he always uses biblical references. He must be a sovereign citizen. He's always referring to the Bible. You fucking insolent bastards. Blaspheme the word of God some more, you ignorant, insolent bastards. This is what they're doing, people. And again, like I said, I have much reproach and reproof against this man, or whoever it is. He shouldn't be there. By reason and logic, after putting something like this out, he should be removed from office immediately. Post haste. present, and you are going to get him or her to leave as quietly as possible. See, it doesn't say that they're going to have the law. They're not going to use the law to get you to leave, because they can't. They're trying to get you to be recognized as using the law as though that's unlawful. So they can't use the law to get you out. When we start using the law and they want to start using the law, then they're stuck. Oh, so you're a sovereign citizen too. Really? Great. Thanks for admitting that. See how that works? You want to sit there and post Public Law 97-280. The Bible is the law of the land. And then say that they reference the Bible. It must be President Ronald Reagan was a fucking sovereign citizen, people. President Ronald Reagan was a fucking sovereign citizen. Let the sovereign complete the applications so identification information can be obtained. Keep telling you, quit fucking entering the data elements. That's the whole problem. Well, he keeps referencing the Bible. Yeah, and nobody even notices. I don't even carry the fucking Bible with me. I merely reference it. I don't need the writing. It's in here. You write it down. You're the one that wants the fucking record. Ordained and sanctified before I was even cast from the womb to be a prophet unto the nations. So you can take your nationality and the conference of a United States citizenship that was never actually known and confined to real logic of how it's supposed to be used through all the different registrations and shove it all up your ass. The natural born man is not confound to his brother's laws. See, even like I said in a couple other, even the scriptures aren't law. That's just a set of books of writings, a set of writings from different people that were put into a book to try to show you a moral compass. So that you could all realize that the person belongs inside, the face of the deep. The dark was on the face of the deep, and God was on the face of the water. Image and likeness is what covers every ounce of water in us. And this is why it says, ye are gods. Ordained and sanctified because he knew you before he formed you in the belly. He was already in communication with you, and that word was already written on your word because it was written on your father's word, or on your father's heart. And that's who's supposed to be teaching us. Our biological moms and dads, not just them, but our inherited older generations. And that's our duty, is not to just teach it to our children, but to teach it to our younger generations. And this is why I say you're my brother and you're my sister. And my brothers and sisters are your brothers and sisters, and your brothers and sisters are my brothers and sisters. My children, your children, my children. Because that's the way it's supposed to work. So again, I tell you, the Inspector General of HUD shouldn't even be sitting in that seat. He should be flipping fucking burgers, if anything. Meantime, if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be doing this. Like I said, I'll drop the link to this in the chat section, and you guys can review it and see what you think. Because what they're telling you is that if you're a Christian, you're a sovereign citizen. You can't refer to the Bible. Sounds like a literal mind washing known as book burning by belief. Think about it. Have a good day.